Hello, and welcome again to a Wednesday segment of Career Transition and Emotional Intelligence. I am Dr. Tara, and as always, I'm joined by Denise Farquharson across the pond in the UK. And today we are diving into career transition from a different lens. I would say karaoke transition, singing your way into emotional intelligence as you are transitioning. And, you think about singing and not in so much in the literal form of singing, but how the different things that probably singers do to prepare for their performances and how it relates to career transition. And for me, a few things came to mind as we were kind of discussing this earlier is that, singing is really about storytelling. And there's a parallel between, I would say, communication and storytelling. And when you are in your career transition stage or space, having the ability to communicate clearly with clarity to your leaders, to teams, to future employers is really important. And being able to really ensure that there's a depth of understanding, but also that you also are speaking to in a space in which you can collaborate with others if that's what's on the table at that time. So I think that it's really important when you think about the storytelling piece of singing, but also the story that you're telling about your own career transition and being able to do that and using or what I say, leveraging your communication skills as you do that. The other thing that came to mind is also many times people take lessons for a lot of different things, whether it's piano lessons, whether that's guitar lessons. Some individuals take singing lessons. And they do that for a plethora of different reasons. And sometimes that can be for just for exercise or just as a hobby. Other reasons could be they're finding balance. So when you think about singing as a way of finding balance, it's really important when you're in that career transition space to find or to practice, I would say, things that make you more self-aware, that sometimes they're called mindfulness practices, being able to do self-awareness exercises. In 2020, when my position was eliminated, I joined a run walk group. And so that was my downtime to really sit in the space that I was in of not having to, apply for jobs, not having to update resumes, worry about networking. It was just a time in which I had space to really be self-aware of what I was feeling, what I was going through, and just really clearing my thoughts to ensure that I allowed some people to really speak to me regarding what next steps would be. But it also really allowed for, and I think that it allows for everyone, if you really think about it, when you become more self-aware and you're able to find some rhythm of mindfulness practices, that it really helps you with your decision making. And you are really in a space where you can approach things with more clarity. And really, that's really, really important because you're going to have some challenges during that career transition time frame, whether it's the art of rejection, not getting that role, or not hearing back from the recruiter. There could be numerous different reasons, but it's really important that you find a way to find calm during that transition. And the last thing I would say, as you know, as a singer, also the songs that we listen to every that particular artist is really in tune with the audience in which they're singing to or that they're speaking to. And so when they're writing songs, it resonates with individuals with everyone differently, depending on where they are in the space that in which they're listening to that song. And that's the same with career transition. It really translates to being able to connect with individuals, whether that's your colleagues, whether that's building an external network, whether that's your internal network. You are finding ways to show empathy, but also at the same time to build rapport at a new organization if that's next on the list. So I just think that there are a lot of elements that I really didn't think about that align with singing, with storytelling, with communication while you're in that career transition space. Your thoughts, Denise?
There's a whole plethora of ideas there for sure. So those of you who are listening to this on replay, then please do, just check into some of those things that Tara has just described, because in there are a number of strategies that you can take on
Mhm,
and be able to apply to
mhm,
the career transition that you're currently going through or are planning to go through, and or your business. And the area that I thought of, Tara, was the first thing, three things really, but the first one was around actually emotional intelligence is about self-awareness,
mhm.
self-regulation, and self-management. And when you're on stage, for instance, singing, for instance, I love singing. I really do love singing. I'm not the greatest singer, I must admit, but I do love singing. And those three aspects are always there. I am self-aware of my singing. I
Okay.
am, I am also, I do regulate and manage how I sing and what I sing and where I sing. And if you were to apply the same analogy to the way that you handle your career, then that awareness of, am I needing to move now? Do I need to transition now? Yes, I do. Therefore, what do I do? How do I go about it? And how do I regulate the next steps that I take? How do I then make sure I am engaged with what's happening out in industry and different sectors if I'm going to be moving to a different company? And then also then to manage very well how I then navigate that journey and make sure that that journey is organized, um, diarized, engaged with a mentor really, really well, so that I then end up doing and delivering and really accommodating my desire for the new
Mhm.
transition. And then the second point I'd like to make is around karaoke. Now, I've never really done a karaoke, but I've always seen them on the movies. And I've always thought you either get booed to come down, get off quickly, or you are amazingly successful, or you're probably average. Now, when you apply that to your career transition, you don't want to be mediocre, really. You want to be successful. You don't want to be booed down. You don't want to be seen as taking the wrong steps. Therefore, getting in touch with a mentor or a coach to help you navigate the journey would be absolutely, I'd say, essential in order for you to network well and identify the right areas for you to go. So I wouldn't want to class your career as a karaoke malarkey, but I would want your career to be successful in the transitions that you're about to take.
Yes.
And then my third point really is all about, when you do sing, you actually are managing your breathing, your lips,
Mm,
your tongue, your mouth, your breathing is all synced. And sometimes when you're having to transition your career, it may seem as if nothing is synced right now. Well, when you consider during COVID, nothing was synced. And things are still a little bit topsy-turvy, but please don't wait for perfection, but also control what your next steps are going to be. Look after where you're going to go and who you're going to engage with to
mhm.
make sure that the decisions that you make and the risks that you take as well, because it is risky. But you may have a low tolerance of risk, but that's okay. It's all about how you then make the next steps. Because remember, I always say this, you've done it before, you can do it again. So those are my
Yes.
three parts really around my thinking around self-awareness, self-regulation, self-management. Treat it like a karaoke, but be successful, but also make sure that you control how you take those next steps and navigate that journey.
No, those are some great points that you made, and especially being able to focus on the three S's. So when you think about the work that you do as a coach, Denise, how can others reach out to you to start that plan?
Yeah, sure. So get in touch, Denise at denisesparkelson.com. What I do is take you through how you can assess how strong your emotional intelligence traits are right now in order for you to transition your career. And by doing that assessment, I then coach you through how to strengthen them even more, or If there's areas of your emotional intelligence that are not as strong as you'd like them to be, we then identify what those are, and then we have some strategies in place for you to strengthen it and be as successful as you would like to be in that area of your life. And you, Tara?
Yes, great. And thank you. I am known as the Upper Out Coach. I work with women to develop a plan to take action and awaken their careers. We work together to design a plan for you to go up in the organization or out to a new opportunity. And I do that by guiding you on a journey of self-discovery and strategic growth. I can be reached at I am Dr. Tara across all platforms or drtaraspeaks.com.
Fantastic. It was great talking to you again, Tara. Great
Always.
subject. Yes, indeed. All the best. Take care.
Thank you.